Alright, so this is just going to be a quick follow-up to the video I posted yesterday. I want to go over the updates with my position and then talk about what I'm looking at in terms of price action. So, when I last left off, I made a note in my last video that I locked in a little bit more profits from my longs. I locked in about 7.5% when we were up in this range in total between the two longs. And I did close out one of my longs already. I closed out this long right here when we were in this range because we came down, literally bounced right before my entry, which my stop loss was at entry. We got a little bounce, kept ranging a little bit, and I decided to close it out for an extra 1% because, there's a good chance that this low of this local range gets run and my stop loss gets hit. I'd rather just close it out with an extra 1% than just try and keep it open for the small chance that this low doesn't get run, but I think it probably will at some point. That's how ranges work. There's always going to be liquidity at the, ends of a range. There's going to be liquidity below a range and liquidity above a range. If it's, a developed enough range, as long as it's not like a 1 minute range, then there's usually always going to be reason to run the highs and lows of a range. So with the extra 1%, I locked in about 8.5% from these two long trades. So, very good trades. Right now, I am only in this one long trade still, and I am also in another short trade that I took within this range up here. And I also got stopped out of a short. So if I zoom in, I took about a 1% loss. I think it was like a 0.9% loss on this trade, which, it's unfortunate because if I just kept my position how it was, my stop loss would not have gotten hit over here. But I actually added to this trade, I think, as we began retracing up here. I added to the trade, I moved my invalidation down, and I ended up getting wicked out. So it took a 1% loss there, and, fortunately, I was able to get into another short trade, which so far I've locked in 1.6%, I believe. So, I covered my loss, and I have an extra 0.6%. And I still have about 1.5 to 2% unrealized, depending on where we're at in this range. So yeah, basically I'm looking to keep this long open if I can. My entry is a little bit lower, so there's a small chance if we run this low that we won't hit my stop loss, but we probably will. What am I looking at in terms of price action now? Well, I'm looking at the ranges that we were trading within. So we have the larger range with the high being up here, the low being down here. This range is basically forming right below the larger range point of control. If you take the fixed range pull from all-time high, I believe that's what that red line is, and yeah, it is. We're trading right below the point of control, and I'm basically watching this range and seeing which way it decides to break. I think if we break out of this range to the upside above the point of control, that's a bullish thing in the short term. We could see more upside. If we break this range to the downside, there's a higher chance that we might start rotating down to lows like this. Not guaranteed. We could break out, maybe find support somewhere, and then just reverse. We could start forming another range down below. But in general, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this range to kind of tell me what is most likely to happen next, depending on which way we break. And within that range, I've been trading the smaller ranges that have formed. We've pretty much had three ranges form within this larger range. One down there, one up here, and now I think we're trading within a range like this, where the high is right here, the low is right here. And so this is the price action that I'm focusing on locally. My long stop loss is right below this range low, so there's a good chance that that gets run and stopped out. If we take out the range low and there's some kind of bullish confirmation, divergences on market cipher, and ideally some other confirmations to go along with it, then I'm more than happy to re-enter along here and just play the range for what it is, look for a rotation. And same thing pretty much goes for the top of the range. My short stop loss is somewhere around here, I think. So there's a chance that if we run this range high, I might get stopped out. Even if I don't get stopped out, though, if we come up to the range high with confirmations, I may add to the short or I may look to open a new one. And that's pretty much where I'm at with my trades right now. Other than that, I'm just kind of looking to trade the larger range. If we continue rotating in here, I'll look to play this for what it is. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like these two trades that I took are going to take me all the way up to all-time highs. I was kind of joking when I said that, but, there's always a chance whenever I'm, trading kind of higher time frame confirmations like 4-hour bull divs. I, kind of look at these as like scalp trades that may turn into swing trades. But of course, they have to start off with the local context. And I was trading this range. I took a lot of profits out when we rotated to the high. So I think I played this well, even if I missed out on some unrealized gains. I probably could have locked in over 10% easily if I just closed all the trades out up here. But I was willing to keep them open for the chance that we, ended up breaking out to the upside. And that's probably how I'm going to continue to trade this range. Any longs that I enter, I'm going to trade them locally, but I'll probably leave some to run for in case we do end up breaking to the upside. And same pretty much goes for shorts. I'm taking profits out of the short. I've been picking profits out, but if we end up breaking to the downside, I'm more than happy to hold this for as low as it'll take us. And real quick to end it, we'll do a quick top-down analysis for market ciphers. So the daily time frame, money flow still, not looking great. Obviously, it's going to take a while for this to turn around, so nothing really new there. We did print a trigger wave of sorts on the daily time frame. No divergence, just a simple anchor to trigger wave. But, right now the VWAP is struggling a little bit. It's kind of flattening out, looking like it might curve back to the downside. We may get a red dot on this momentum wave. Now, the 4-hour, very interesting. We actually saw the 4-hour money flow start to turn to the downside as price was pumping. So, it's interesting that the money flow on the 4-hour actually kind of told us that this move to the upside was unsustainable. By the time we actually got up here, money flow was attempting to put in, highs. It was kind of challenging the highs up here. It looks like a slight lower high. And as we started ranging up in this area, money flow on the 4-hour basically just took a turn to the downside. It was moving to the downside as we were ranging. That was kind of a sign to say that we're probably going to break down out of this range. Now, where it's at now, money flow's in the red, and momentum has come down a decent bit. We may see a trigger wave print here. The VWAP's curving back to the upside right now. The money flow is not looking good. It's, just moving into the red, but you can sometimes get very tight waves like this. Could say, maybe we put in a higher low in money flow. Maybe we also put in a higher low in momentum. But it's definitely looking iffy right now with the money flow, how it is at the moment. But if some of the time frames below the 4-hour are looking good in terms of money flow, then that can be some good added context. The 3-hour, looking a little weak. Money flow right now is looking to challenge these lows. We already kind of tried to put in a higher low here, but you could argue even if we do put in a lower low here, it might just be like an overall curvature, and this still could put in a higher low to this wave back here. We do see a direction with momentum, but it's looking a little iffy in my opinion. We weren't able to put in a higher high back here, but that may not matter. But it is looking a little funky how there's not like a clear trend line of direction. 2-hour, we have a potential trigger wave printing to this anchor wave, but money flow is turning to the downside, so that's not really a good look. And let's check the 1-hour. Here too, money flow is just getting into the red. Momentum is pretty oversold. It's down at the low end, so maybe we expect a range, maybe even another rotation back to the upside of this range potentially, but money flow is not really looking great. So I'd say a lot of uncertainty with market cipher. It is not looking as clear as it was the last time I looked at it when we were over here. It's looking more just like range bound price action if I had to guess. But there is potential that with momentum kind of bottoming out on a lot of these time frames, we could see a move to the upside. It's just the money flow is not really giving me a whole lot of confidence in that, but we'll see how it turns out. For right now, I'm just looking to trade the ranges. Alright, well, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Really appreciate the support, and I'll see you all in the next video.